It's 6:30, so I think we will begin our grade level meeting for 10th and 11th grade. Tonight, our focus is, again, the reopening of Greenwich High School to all of our students. And I'll be talking specifically about our juniors tonight. And we have our PTA co-president, Stephanie Cow, here is going to talk about the initiatives that the PTA has going right now. And I think one of our biggest topic tonight, aside from the reopening of school, is Judy Nadell and planning for post-high school planning. So it's great to have Judy here with us tonight. It's never too late to start that planning process. And Karen Foster is also here with us tonight to talk about our student activities and what we have planned for the end of the school year. So with that being said, let me go over a few things about reopening of the school. First of all, our seniors are extremely happy to be back. And I had a staff meeting yesterday with 279 staff members, and 2-1, they are happy to have the seniors back at Greenwich High School. So, so far, everything is going extremely well. I'll knock on wood if I can find it. Yeah, there's some. And the only hiccup we really had was about parking. So I have to commend you, the parents, and the members of our junior class. We gave them very little notification, but we had to tell them on this past Tuesday that they could not, or Monday night, that they can no longer park here. However, the good news is on June 1st, the juniors will be back. And if they've already gotten a parking permit, they don't have to do anything, right, Karen?
Correct.
And then if you don't have a parking permit, then Mrs. Foster has all of that information online, and she'll talk about that later in the presentation. But we are so happy to have our seniors back, and I think we're going to be just as happy to get our juniors. And then on June 1st, let me not get ahead of myself. On May 17th, our juniors will be coming back to Greenwich High School, and we're looking forward to them coming back. So, folks, you have an option for this. You can either send your child full-time, or you can leave them on a remote status. There will be no hybrid option, though. So it's either you're sending your child to school full-time, or you're keeping them home full-time. And that's your choice. And what else? Talk about parking. And I'll be sending out a letter, a detailed letter about some of the things that we sent out to the seniors, senior class students and their parents prior to their returning. So a lot of questions about the return to school are answered in this letter. And it'll be talking about the fact that lunch and breakfast are free for all students, and it's being served in the cafeteria, that we're gonna be moving a lot of furniture around. And right now we have no tables set up in the Student Center, but we will have our tables set up with plexiglass. So 4 students at a time could eat at a table instead of just sitting in chairs like they're doing right now in the center. We also have available space for lunch in the Gym A, but also we have some beautiful picnic tables that were donated by our PTA right outside my office, so I can actually observe lunch right without even moving out of my desk seat. So that stuff's going on. If you're eligible for the bus, you don't have to do anything. Transportation is available to you if you live more than 2 miles away from Greenwich High School. What else? Yes, like I said before, we will send you out a survey, and you can either tell us you're going to be full remote or you're going to be coming back 5 days a week. It'll also review the attendance policy. All of our health mitigation strategies are in place. They will remain in place. How we pass the class, wearing masks, making sure that everyone has their ID card, all of that will remain in place. None of that will change. And again, I talked a little bit about student parking already. So that's pretty much it about our return to school. As I said, things are going extremely well. We have some lovely events set up for our juniors and seniors, and actually for our 9th and 10th graders as well. And Karen will talk about those later on in the program. But now I want to turn this over to our PTA president, Ms. Stephanie Cowie, who's going to give you a little update on what the PTA has been up to. Steph.
Thank you, Ralph, so very much. Good evening, everyone. I'm Steph Cowie. Terry Lamonti and I are the GHS PTA co-presidents this year. I'm also the parent of a 10th grader, so happy to be here with all of you this evening. Thank you for joining. Once again, a big thank you to our district, school, administrators, and faculty for keeping our children in school this year. We are also very beyond excited that our 10th and 11th graders will return to school full-time in the coming weeks. While we are together, we want to provide you with a few updates about the work that Greenwich High School PTA this year. As we have worked closely with our principal, Ralph Mayo, and his team, we have enjoyed the partnership between the PTA and Greenwich High School administration during these unprecedented times. After many discussions with our school administrators and student government representatives, our board and PTA membership approved additional monies to purchase Wi-Fi boosters around the building so our students and faculty can continue their studies outside, in addition to enhancing communication between parents and students in the school parking lot. In addition, our board and membership approved additional monies to add TV monitors in key locations such as the entrances to the 5 houses, the science, PAC, and gym wings to display important information about the events and daily activities. As a final note, please join us for our final general membership meeting on May 27th at 9:30 a.m. We will present the vote of our 2021-22 budget and the 2021-22 PTA Board of Directors. Following PTA business, there'll be a timely presentation on the building character and resilience in teams with Jeff DeTesso, apologize for that, former Greenwich High School psychologist and current director of counseling at Greenwich Country Day School. Thank you everyone for joining us this evening. And now I'd like to turn it over to our 10th grade coordinator, Jen Frisella.
Thank you, Steph. Had to quickly unmute myself. As you said, a lot of the great things that I'm Jen Frisella. I'm the 10th grade ambassador. And as you said, we're very excited that the 10th graders will be back in the building on June 1st. And we'd like to thank the Greenwich High School administration for working so hard to resume in-person learning for our students. We look forward to hearing more about what to expect for our sophomores in the next year. And I know we'll hear in more detail from our guidance department about the updates and the next steps for our rising juniors. And as always, the 10th grade parent ambassador is a resource for parents, and I encourage you to contact me. And next year, the following year, 10th grade ambassador at 10ambassador@ghspta.org. And I'd just like to thank everybody for being here tonight. And I'd like to turn it over to our 11th grade rep, Melissa. Okay, I don't know. Is Melissa here?
I think we would see her in this grid if she was here. I don't think she is here.
Okay.
If she,
I have her remarks here. If
Thanks, Jen. Thank you.
Sure. It's Melissa Grijalba, and she is, I hope I pronounced her name correctly. She's the 11th grade ambassador, and the junior parents would like to have the same, thank you to the GHS administration for working so hard on the in-person learning for them on May 17th. And our juniors have been looking forward to being reunited as a class for the class of 2022. So exciting. Hard to believe that we're saying that. And they look forward to hearing about the college process and what to expect for the few months in the fall. And likewise, the same thank yous. And the email for the 11th grade would be 11ambassador@ghspta.org. And that's it. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Jen.
Thanks, Jen. That was a way to pick that up real quickly. Appreciate it. And Stephanie, thank you. And, I want to take a few minutes to talk about the partnership that Greenwich High School has with our parent community. It's never been better. It's never been stronger. We have had a great teacher appreciation week, but I think there should be a parent appreciation week so that we can tell you guys how much we appreciate your support, because it's been nothing short of outstanding. We've talked about adding more wireless outside so that we can communicate better, and also hold classes outside. It's all going to happen. The monitors that Stephanie was talking about, those are going to happen. It's all about helping our children understand what's happening at the school and better communication. And so I really have to thank Stephanie for and our co-president Terry for all the hard work that we have done this year together. We talk to each other at least once a week, if not more. And
To your dismay, you may not want that, but
well, it was twice today already, but today's the third time. But it's all good. It's all good.
All
And
good.
we are working with in concert with the PTA to reimagine our student center to make it more student friendly, and that is in progress. And it's a nice project for both the PTA and the Greenwich Public Schools to be involved in. So we're looking forward to that. And I'm going to now turn this over to Karen Foster, our Director of Student Activities.
Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for coming tonight. So I'm going to give a quick rundown of the events that are happening for our sophomores and our juniors. So the first event coming up is May 19th. As you know, the juniors are taking a science test that morning. So that afternoon is going to be a fun day for them. Their test should end by 11:30. So we're going to have lunch from 11:30 to 12:30. We are going to provide food trucks, and whether it's nice, we'll be outside on the fields eating. If it's not, then we'll come inside the school and eat. And then from 12:30 to 3, we are going to have fun day. And that's going to be a variety of games and activities throughout the school, some inside, some outside. And then at the end of the day, the buses will run as usual. On that day, if you are in another grade, the learning that day is asynchronous. On June 3rd is our sophomore fun day. The ninth graders will actually go in the morning. So they'll be in the morning, sophomores will be home. We will have a special bus run for the sophomores that day. And that schedule will go out sooner or quicker or closer, to when the event will actually happen. But for the sophomores, their fun day is going to be from 12:30 to 3 on June 3rd. So again, the buses will be a special bus route in the middle of the afternoon to pick them up, to bring them to school. And then there will be the regular buses going home. And again, that day will be asynchronous for all the other students. In addition to that, we do have our junior prom, which we are excited to announce. That will be Saturday, June 12th. It is from 7 to 10:30 p.m. at the Stanford Hilton. The ticket cost is $80, and you can buy them either online through My School Bucks or at the school store, either during lunch or in the morning. All that info was sent out last week. It's also found on our school website, and I will send out a reminder email over the weekend. If you are a junior and you would like to bring a guest, you can bring a guest. If the guest is outside of Greenwich High School, then the requirements are to either show proof of vaccine 2 weeks out after the last vaccine, or a negative PCR test within 72 hours from the prom. And then, as we talked about, the sophomores will be returning on June 1st after the seniors have left to go on internship. So we are excited to have both the juniors come back in a couple weeks, and then the sophomores come back on June 1st.
Thanks, Karen. We appreciate that. We'll have a schedule of all those events. Karen plans to send that out to everyone. And we also finalized our end of the year schedule with the superintendent today. So we'll get that all out to you in a few days. So we're going to let the superintendent announce that final schedule before we send it out to anyone. So like to thank the superintendent for supporting Greenwich High School and giving us some time at the end of the year to do some things that we really need to do with welcoming our students back to our high school. It's been a long time and we can't wait for them to be here. So our final speaker and our main speaker tonight is our, what's that, Judy? Why are we laughing? What did I
No,
do?
I'm laughing because you know what? There is one quick prom ticket question, if you wouldn't mind maybe letting Karen answer that.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, it says, someone says there's no option to buy 2 prom tickets online. So what is the situation for buying junior prom tickets?
So if you try to buy them online, you have to buy them one at a time because you have to complete that form. So you can purchase one, complete the form, put it in your cart, and then just shop again. We're all good at online shopping. Shop again, fill out the form if, especially after the pandemic, right? So if you don't know who your guest is, you can just write guest for now and then just email me with the updated information once you know all the information for the guest.
And the other question was, when do the juniors come back? And the juniors are coming back on May 17th. That is our date for the juniors. Okay. All right. And I know why you were laughing now. So, Judy, why don't you take the show over, please?
Thank you. So I'm Judy Needell. I'm the coordinator of guidance for the district. I'm happily based here at Greenwich High School. I work very closely with all of the school counselors, as well as our college and career center counselor and our transition counselor. So I thought it would be nice, an opportunity for me to kind of remind the parents of our sophomores and our juniors about the post-high school planning information that we have available to them. And the activities that and the resources that we have. So I'm going to very quickly share my screen, hopefully successfully. Share. There we go. And I hope you guys can see this. This is, hopefully if I can, yes, there we go. This is the Greenwich High School website. I have like kind of 2 primary communication tools that I use to communicate with students and parents in my role as the coordinator of guidance. I send a lot of direct emails to students and parents to share information and encourage participation in our school counseling activities and other activities that our program plans and implements. In addition to those direct emails, though, I also post a lot of information on the Greenwich High School Guidance and School Counseling website. So I would just like to quickly remind you, as we were going into the summer, and perhaps, the school counselors, are not going to be available in the summer because they have the same teacher calendar. I want you to know what is available to you in the summer should you wish to get information from the school counseling department. So just very quickly, our guidance web pages are under teaching and learning. Here's our link right there, guidance school counseling. Pull this up a teeny bit. So basically on our home page always has information such as news and announcements, and this changes periodically throughout the year. One of the things I really like about working in a school is that, there is an arc of activities that happen each school year. So for example, we just recently gave the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery. We give this every April. So, if your son or daughter might be interested in taking the ASVAB one day, that they will be able to take that in April at Greenwich High School, for example. So again, the homepage will change periodically what is on here. Sometimes I change it faster than other times, but it'll always have, current information up there. The College and Career Center page is a great tool to have as parents of sophomores and juniors. We are very lucky to have a College and Career Center counselor. In a normal school year, we have lots of wonderful PTA volunteers who help us in person, deliver those programs to the students, including in-person college representative visits. We are starting to make some in-person appointments for the fall. We do not yet know whether or not we are going to be able to have an actual college night next year. We may need to not have a full college night one more year before we can get back to it. But Allison Lockridge, our college and career counselor, is in touch with our college colleagues, and we are, all looking at the health guidance to find out whether or not we can actually have college night. But the reason why this could be of help to you again over the summer is that we do have information linked here about, career development. And I want to call your attention to our college and career update. As parents of sophomores and juniors, it would be valuable to go through these that have been posted for the year and see what scholarships are offered at different times of year. We get a ton of scholarships throughout the school year that are primarily for current seniors to apply to. Okay, so we are also possibly looking at putting this into some sort of a little bit of a more searchable database, but I can promise you that anything we get at the College and Career Center will be compiled and posted here in the College and Career Update. There's also information about the workshops that Allison offers throughout the school year. There's information about, again, college rep visits, open houses at colleges, and other types of opportunities. So I would encourage you that, if you have some downtime over the summer and would like to take a look, I think it would be a great idea to do that.
Judy, we do have a question about the scholarship. Can juniors apply, or is it only seniors?
I would say to you that 90% of what we get are for seniors. There may be one or two that are for juniors. We do have under the, college financial aid website links to things like FastWeb, which is a college search database, and so some juniors can take a look at that. And then the College Board has their little college scholarships. It's not a lot of money, but by doing certain things on the College Board website, students can get put into a lottery to receive some scholarships as well.
There's another question, if you wouldn't mind showing how you got there again to that landing.
Yes, happy to do that. So it's under teaching and learning. So when you get to the first Greenwich High School page, teaching and learning, guidance, school counseling. The college process post-high school planning page is another place where you can take a look at resources. Again, perhaps in the summer when everyone has a little bit more downtime and a little more space to be, thinking about things. We have information about Naviance, which is an online resource for students and for parents. And I did email everyone a little earlier, maybe about a month ago or so, to say we are going to be making a transition from Naviance tool to a new tool called SCORE. And we will definitely roll that out to all of our grade levels next fall. Our current juniors and current junior parents are working with that now, and the feedback is good. As you are, maybe thinking about post-high school planning, maybe in the summer you have a question. I just want to again remind you that we publish the Greenwich High School planning guide every January, and in here is contained basically all of our information and advice that we have about getting involved at Greenwich High School and post-high school planning. So you can see there are topics very extensively, outlined about, funding your education beyond high school. Maybe again, parents of sophomores or juniors would like to do a little bit more research about like how much colleges costs and things like that. You might have questions about college admissions testing, PSAT, SAT, and all that information is in this Greenwich High School planning guide. Again, we update it annually, and it is published in both English and in Spanish. We do have an updated list of comprehensive test prep options. So basically there are lots of really wonderful, oops, that didn't work. I'll have to fix that. We have a lot of, test prep companies in our area that offer lots more free practice now. One of the, silver linings of COVID has been all of us realized lots of things can be done virtually. And so the test prep companies are no different. They realize that they can do a lot of, free testing online for students. You don't have to go to their location anymore. You can take a proctored test. You can get, free report. So there is, and of course, obviously they want to be selling you their services, but that doesn't mean you can't take advantage of their free boot camps or free practices that they offer quite regularly now. In addition, this page, which is the college process post-high school planning page, is we have things like some of our videos are linked right here, and then some articles that we think are worth reading. Underneath this, the junior folder senior packet. So again, parents who will have rising seniors over the summer, if your son or daughter realizes, oh no, I don't know where the brag sheet is, I don't know, they're looking for things, all that stuff that your school counselor has talked to you about in your junior planning conference is on this page. So please do not worry, everything is here for you and for them. In addition, again, parents of sophomores and juniors or sophomores and juniors themselves may want to take a look at the financial aid information that we have here. Again, I do really think the planning guide has a really nice section on paying for college, but here's some other resources that we think are valuable to have about college funding. We will have, we already booked one date in September for the Barnum Company to come back. They are the people who for the past few years has done a really nice job giving parents a really big overview of funding your college education. So we are going to have them back. It will be virtual again. I've found that, some of our really straightforward presentations are just as good virtually. So we think it's a lot easier for people to access from home when it's virtual. So we will have that virtually. Other things we're hoping to have you back, in the building for. Next, I just would like to just let you know again, maybe, at some point in time, if you can't remember who the name of your guidance assistant is, all of our guidance staff is listed here, actually, all secondary, Greenwich High School and the middle school. So their phone numbers direct phone numbers are all here and their full names so that you know how to email them. I don't necessarily think that you need the school profile college matriculation page, but let's say you'd like to find out what colleges the class of 2020 attended. This is where that data is. The information this kind of information will not necessarily be available to you in Naviance, but as a reminder, there's lots of good data in Naviance as well as now in SCORE. And we also have the college book that is published every year. So the class of 2021 will be working with their guidance assistants very soon to make sure that they have all of their college admissions data given to the guidance assistant who will put it in Naviance. Then we generate a data book from Naviance and we will have that available in the summer at the local public libraries. We typically get it to them sometime in July. And hopefully you'll actually be able to go into the library this July, unlike this past year. It was very hard for me to get rid of my college books this year. The senior options program. So we're definitely going to need the help of the parents of our sophomores and juniors. So for the past 2 years, COVID has very significantly impacted our senior options program. We had built up the senior internship program to a very, very strong level over the past 20 years. And, we had tons of internships. Like sometimes we couldn't even fill all the internships that we had. So as you can imagine, a lot of people could not come back. Well, first of all, we didn't have anybody out on internships last spring. And this year, a lot of people just couldn't accept our students. Now, the good news is we have about 200 students going out on self-designed internships, which is a really great start. But I am hopeful over the next 2 years as parent community gets self-designed internships for their children, I just want you to know that helps grow the program for everyone, because once one of our high school students gets their foot in the door of a company, usually they shine, and the companies are very happy to have someone back that they don't even know necessarily the next year. And so, again, we're also hopeful to have our PTA volunteers physically back in the Career Center, and they will be helping making some, personal contacts with some of our old sites, and hopefully they will come back for next year and the year after. The last thing I want to make sure that you know is that we have two very nice new resources for student employment and volunteer opportunities. So as you may know, the PTA has long sponsored something called Student Employment Service, and it was a very wonderful resource in our town. And basically, companies and retail people could put in part-time jobs into the Student Employment Service, and they could, and people could also put in like one-off jobs such as babysitting, spring cleaning of their garden and things like that. Well, we still have a Student Employment Service, but it is called Quad Jobs. So I'm going to click on the PTA link here. And here's all the information about the new Quad Jobs. It's very straightforward. There's nice little videos. It's fairly easy for students to sign up, but they do need to have parent permission uploaded to it. So there is like a couple of steps. Students register, they get their parents to sign the permission form if they're of age to do that, and then they upload it to the site. So we are encouraging our students to do that. Allison Lockridge has done some workshops, to encourage that. The other really wonderful thing that we were able to get this year, also thanks to our PTA volunteers in the Career Center, is a brand new list of volunteer opportunities in our town. So here is the name of the organization, the website, the contact information, and then I realize that you can't necessarily see it with this here, but a little summary of what the volunteering is all about at this particular organization. So we want you to know that it's here. It's linked to our guidance page, which is under working papers, student employment, volunteer opportunities. Now, our students need working papers all year long. If it's over the summer and they get a part-time job and they need working papers, as long as the job is in Connecticut, they can come to the Greenwich High School main office and obtain those working papers. However, if they get a part-time job in New York State, they do have to go to a high school in Westchester County to get that. But again, we are open in the summer, the main office, and we will be able to provide our students with working papers. I'm going to leave the school counseling website for one moment and call attention to the National Honor Society website. Related to those volunteer opportunities, we do realize that the volunteer opportunities in our community dried up during COVID. It was much, much harder for students to get service hours, community service hours. But we are encouraged that more places are taking students. So the National Honor Society does require a certain number of community service hours. So the current juniors actually have already applied, and in senior year, those National Honor Society seniors give back to the school, and they are peer tutors for the entire student body for this school year. And we really, this school would not be as wonderful without our NHS members giving back by tutoring their peers. Again, so National Honor Society is not under guidance, it is under student life, and it has its own webpage. So the modifications that are going to be required are all listed here. There's some sub pages underneath the National Honor Society. There's the information about the packets, the service requirements for classes of 2022, 23, and 24. So this does pertain directly to the current sophomores. So please, it's all listed right here, very thorough. You should have very little questions once you kind of get through that. So now I'm gonna attempt to stop sharing. There we go. Oops. Okay. There we go.
Judy, I have some questions. Could I send those to you? So is it too late for seniors to apply for any scholarships that might be available?
No, I don't think so. There definitely should be some. I would start with the latest college and career update and go down from there. There are definitely still some deadlines that have not passed. And I would also check out FastWeb.
Excellent. College rep visits. Are these visits only listed on the CC update, or is there a calendar specific list of college visits to GHS? I assume that, go ahead.
Yes, so actually, we're toying with the idea of like keeping it in one place next year. So for most of the time at Greenwich High School, we've put the rep visits in two places. They've been in Naviance, and actually, if a student has the college in their list, it would go an email would go to them and let them know that the rep was visiting. In addition, it has always been in the college and career update. Again, we're toying with some new ideas maybe for next fall, but that information will definitely be available in at least two places in the fall. We typically have the most representatives in the fall. Again, we are very much hoping that we will have live people, coming here to visit Greenwich High School again. However, the virtual rep visits went okay this fall. It wasn't terrible. And again, even our PTA volunteers were able to help us, take notes on those visits, even though everybody was virtual through Google Meet. So we'll see what happens next year.
If an employee in New York, if the employer is in New York, then the student goes to any high school in New York to get work.
Yep. White Plains High School, Rye High School, whatever is in Westchester County, Portchester High School.
If students have employment after school, are they prioritized for parking at Greenwich High School? Karen, maybe?
That's a good question.
Unfortunately, we just do not have a plethora of parking. And so parking is only for seniors, and it's actually done on a lottery basis if we have more students apply than parking permits that we typically give out. So most semesters, we have to end up doing a lottery. So we say that seniors are guaranteed parking one semester. There's a possibility that they could have it a second semester, depending on how the lottery works out, depending on how many students apply. And that's just the way the parking goes. So there's no exceptions made for people who have jobs after school.
Thank you. When do seniors, Judy, this would be for you. When do seniors find out if they have been accepted to National Honor Society?
Okay. I am not 100% sure, but I believe they find out before the end of their junior year, and then induction is in the fall. But I think they find out this year. I'm fairly sure. But you know what? I could be wrong. I'm sorry. Someone else does that. I'm sorry.
We can have them look on the
I did it
website.
once. Not anymore.
No problem. There is another National Honor Society question. So the National Honor Society peer tutoring is open to rising juniors or sophomores. Can they also participate?
Well, as tutors, so basically our peer tutoring program at Greenwich High School has always been the tutoring was delivered by the seniors. And, freshmen, sophomores, and juniors would take advantage and get help from the peer tutors. That's a very good question, though. If the question is about could juniors and sophomores maybe volunteer as tutors, we are going to probably have a new National Honor Society person next year. And so I can bring that question up to them to see whether or not that would be something we could manage.
And there's one more question on this as well. Can students applying for National Honor Society use hours from any other year, including freshman year, instead of the 2020?
Yes, I would say to you that typically the committee is flexible about when we'd like to see service each year, like a dedication to service. However, I think that they are looking for the accumulated number of hours that they hope members have. And so they usually are quite flexible about that. But do see there is one of those web pages does have information about what is service and what is not service. So please look at that before you assume everything you're doing is community service.
Excellent. Well, thank you. I believe that's all we have in the chat.
Judy, I have a question for you, and I know the answer, but could you explain why the college book is so valuable? The
Sure.
data in there? Thank you.
Sure. Well, if we were not such a large high school, the static data for college admissions would actually not be as valuable. The Naviance data is college by college by college, But when we can print it out and generate that college book, you get a much bigger picture of an institution. So you can see, first of all, it's very obvious that lots of seniors apply to a Boston college. But by reading down the GPA and the test scores of who applies, you start to see a pattern of the type of students that are being accepted by certain colleges and universities in the country. So we have been producing the college book for certainly more than the 20 years that I've been in the district. It is an institution at Greenwich High School. The data is super valuable. We only print it. We do not post it on the web because it is our data and it's for our community. But again, the same data is available in a different format within Naviance, but it's a really nice, different snapshot of it. We produce a whole bunch of them. So, if students wanted to take it out of our media center and bring it home to you over the weekend, they could easily do that.
And that was a question, Judy, of where they could get the college book. So they could get that at the library, correct?
Yes, our Greenwich High School library, and then I bring them to the Perrott Library and the main Greenwich Library too.
There's another question. This is for Karen. There is no option to buy prom tickets online. And what is the date of the prom?
The prom is June 12th, and you can buy multiple tickets. You just have to do them one at a time in the cart.
And if you continue to have problems purchasing a ticket, come to student activities and we'll certainly help you do that.
And there was a question about Naviance is not being used anymore. So what about SCORE? They wanted to know a little more about that.
Both databases offer really the same thing. There's information about careers. There's little quizzes you can take about your career interests. It has college data in there. The Naviance has been around for a really long time, and they had not updated their product for a while, and it was really not user-friendly. The teachers use it to upload letters, the students use it to do research, and when we started to see SCORE a couple of years ago, not only is the product free and would save us, quite a bit of money for an annual subscription, we really found that it was much more user-friendly, much more geared to how students are using websites these days. So we've been studying it for a couple of years, and we really felt confident that it was going to do what we needed it to do. So we rolled it out to the junior class this year, and then we're going to, again, introduce it to everyone in the fall. Allison Lockridge and I just had a meeting with Naviance last week, though, and we did learn they were purchased by Power School. They are spending massive amount of money to actually try and update their site a little bit better. So, I do have the budget to, get Naviance for one more year. So now we're, just trying to decide, I may get Naviance for one more year. We'll do a parallel for a while, but we're fairly confident that we are going to, we are going to use SCORE to start sending the transcripts and the letters to colleges in lieu of Naviance, because that tool really was never very user-friendly for anyone. So.
We have some more questions. Can parents come in and check out the college book, or do students need to check it out?
That's a good question. I think parents have checked it out before using their child's name, but now, I don't know when parents are going to be allowed back in the building. That's the only thing. If your child is full remote or something, just let me know. We can figure out a way to, take it out and get it to you for pickup in the glass corridor.
Another question came up to ask if a copy could be provided to the Byram Schubert Library as well.
I will put that on my list.
Fantastic. We have another question about what is the date to apply for the National Honor Society? And it's the junior year or senior year?
It's definitely junior year. That I'm sure of, and I'm not sure of the date, but I bet you it's on the website.
Well, we will look. apologize if this information is online, but what is the deadline for juniors to submit internship plans for their senior year?
Okay, so that's a very good question. So nothing has to happen with senior options until senior year. And normally we start the process in January. We have meetings with our seniors. I send information home to families. We usually have, a deadline in like maybe February, March for some things. Then we have another deadline in April for some other things. So there will be time. So I would say if you think of the spring of the senior year is when we start that process. And again, students will be able to choose project or internship, but we will help facilitate all that.
We have another request to ask for the college book to be provided at the Cost Cobb Library as well.
Great.
I
I knew about the Parat, but I didn't realize there were like so many others. So is that 4 then?
Yes.
Any other? Okay. I promise I will get them to all 4.
Wonderful. Hold on, I've got a few that just came in a different way. Let's see, hold on, sorry. Something. When did the juniors go? No, we already have that. I apologize. It just came back and populated everything again. Hold on one moment.
Sure, take your time.
Sorry. Let's see, there was a question about if I have a scooter. This is for you, Karen. If I have a scooter, does that require a parking permit? And is there a designated area they can be placed?
Any seniors that drive a vehicle, they do need a permit. We do not have a designated scooter parking area.
There was also a response, thanks, Karen. There was also a response about the college book that a person in our audience got the book last year at Staples, just to share that with everybody.
Thank you. I have tried to convince Staples that they really shouldn't be selling it, but I am aware.
Oh, okay.
At least it's getting out there to people, I suppose, but I don't think there's anything I could do about that. I did try.
Another question that came in, what is the plan for last week of school? Since there are no finals, will there still be half days? Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, we finalized the last week of school with the superintendent today, but as I said in the beginning of my presentation, we're going to let the superintendent announce those dates before we do tonight. So, yeah, there's going to be a combination of half days and full days, but like I said, we're going to let the superintendent make that announcement probably tomorrow.
Wonderful. And I think that's all we have, if no one else has any other questions.
I know this is budget time. A lot of the RTM district meetings are happening now, and they're prepping for the full RTM meeting on, I believe it's Monday, May 10th. And I would hope that everyone out there would support the school budget. It's very important that both the operational budget and the capital budget pass. So hopefully we have your support for that. I'd like to thank you all for being here with us tonight, spending a few hours with us, an hour with us anyway. And
they're saying you've all done a wonderful job this year. Congratulations. Great job.
And yes, before I forget, yes, this meeting will be posted on our Greenwich High School website. Just give us a couple of days. It takes a couple of days to get this posted up on the site, but it will be up there. So thank you too. And I'm off to District 6 if I make it. All right. Thanks everyone. Have a great.
Thank you.